You're back on the air with Eric and Robin Gagnon, the Restaurant Brokers. We sell restaurants as the industry leader in restaurants for sale, franchise restaurant resales, and site location for the food service industry. We currently have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. Today's guests are talking to us about operating their restaurants in hotels and casinos. Eric, you want to kick us off with a great question?
Absolutely. I consider hotel casinos somewhat of a non-traditional, operation. So I'd like to ask each one of you, what are some of the greatest challenges to operate in the settings that you guys are operating on day to day? Jim, you want to start us off?
Yeah, well, I think we probably all agree it's employee retention, getting the right employees. In our food and beverage, we employ about 900 employees. So between the 10 different restaurants. So we're always looking for that quality employee and try to acquire them. And our chef team and our management team, we've traveled as far as Korea and Argentina to try to recruit those employees that are going to be creating a great sense of hospitality and that quality food product. Even during the downturn of the economy, it was still a challenge for us as a restaurant operation to get those employees that provide that level of service and quality of food.
So, Jason, do you agree? Are employees the biggest challenge in operations of this kind of non-traditional leg of the restaurant industry?
I mean, employees are the largest asset for all of us in the hospitality industry, no matter which segment you're in. So I think that, the short answer is yes, definitely. That's always a challenge. I think that it was alluded to earlier as well that, it's a challenge. It's a challenge in itself to make sure that all the masters are on the same page, if you will, because we've got multiple shareholders from our concept with InterContinental Hotels as the management company, our owners of the actual hotel, and then Chef Art Smith's team with the conceptual owner. So making sure that everybody's on the same page for the direction of the restaurant and the food and beverage program can be a challenge as well.
Oh, I think that's absolutely true. And Michael, what do you think?
From my perspective, all of those items are true. Of course, with the staff and getting everybody aligned and moving in the same direction is always one of the biggest challenges. I think the Las Vegas market is a little bit unique in what I was talking about before with the saturation of so much. It's just it's the city of entertainment, and it's got that name for a reason. There's so much to do in Las Vegas that the biggest challenge is being heard above all the noise, and that's why we try to promote our brand for what it is, which is an upscale, unique brand that's not a buffet, and it's not another celebrity chef. It's something that we do that's very, very unique. So I guess being heard above all the noise in Las Vegas is probably the biggest challenge that we have.
That's a huge hurdle. I would agree with you because Las Vegas is one noisy place.
Sure is. And all of you guys obviously are passionate about hotel casinos and entertainment in the area. So what is the greatest reward? What is the greatest reward for you and your team that makes you come back every day and want to do it again?
For me, it's the people aspect, and I think to see the satisfaction on our clients and our guests' faces, to see those return customers, and then also to see the rewarding feeling from the employees whenever they really make it come to life and they've made a new concept successful.
Good.
I think
I agree with Jason on that.
Okay, so Jim, you're on board with that same thing. Mike, what do you think?
I agree completely. As somebody who worked pretty much every job that was possible, from busboy to bartender to waiter, starting up to kind of understand what all of their individual experiences are like, and now to be the boss is kind of it's very gratifying when you have happy employees and when you have happy guests, and it's a cool feeling.
I bet. I know that you had your show on TV, Rehab. I was a big fan of that, and that was a very interesting cast of employees and staff member you had over there.
Well, I was there at the incarnation, at the genesis of Rehab. Was only there for 1 year, and again, it's a whole team of people that brought that together to fruition. The television didn't start till the second year there. I had moved on at that point.
Okay.
But it certainly was quite the experience.
Yeah.
So quickly, each one of you, because we only have a couple minutes left in this segment, for listeners or anyone looking to run a restaurant within a hotel or casino, do you have a single piece of advice you would give them? And Jim, let's start with you.
Well, and I think Micheal kind of mentioned this whole glamour part about being in the restaurant business, and I think before anybody steps into it, I think they should really get behind the stove or get out at the front with guests and kind of really understand what they're getting into, because coming from a family operation where they worked every day 16 hours a day and going into a corporate environment, there's a lot of challenges that I don't think people are aware of. And you watch TV, you're going to get the picture wrong.
I totally agree with that. I think you're dead on. And Jason, what about you?
I think that it's, my advice would be to have a clear and concise vision and the communication of that vision. As I mentioned before, you've got, multiple shareholders and then the entire employee base. And it's very important that everybody's on the same page and that everybody's working towards one goal or one set of goals, and everybody knows kind of where you're at in that process. So that communication process is extremely important.
Okay, Michael, you're going to be the last to weigh in. We've got just about a minute here. So what do you think?
I just think that if you're going to get into this business, just to understand what the challenges are coming in, and know that if you're just getting into the business, you have no idea what the challenges are. So it's and they're constantly going to change, and it's going to bring out the best in you, and it's going to frustrate you. But when you really get everybody moving in the same direction, and when you're able to really pull it together, and you see a smile on a guest's face, and you see an employee who's taking care of their family, and they say thank you to you at the end of the day, it's very, very gratifying. And I really it would advise anybody trying to get into the business to understand that it's a business, and the most important thing about any business is understanding the business that you're going into.
I love that answer. We're going to have to leave it. We'll have to leave it there. And there's so much more we could talk to these guests about today who are sharing their knowledge and information on hotels and casinos. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We're the Restaurant Brokers. You can find us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. Follow us on Twitter at Sell Restaurants. And, of course, we're on LinkedIn as well. Stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.